it did show that I was sharing, but obviously I wasn't. So let's go to that. Hang on. Yep, great, thank you. I'll just minimize the cameras there because that's it. Okay, so this week we're going to look at the tools we need for success in network marketing. We're going to look at how to develop a 4cc plan and a 10cc plan, which is all about duplication. We're going to look at our 7-day plan and what should be on there each week, and our activity tracker and when we put people on the activity tracker. And then Sarah is going to talk about blogging C9. So lots to get through, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to just go back to slideshow view. Here we go. Right, so let's look at tools for success. So we're going to look at retailing 4ccs and how we do that. And why do we do 4ccs? Well, it is a business building discipline. It's the one thing that Forever asks us to do in order to get our team leading bonus. So it's good to learn it before we have a team, so that it just becomes a habit, so that when we have a team, we can easily do our 4ccs retail. Now you notice we say retail rather than what we teach in the BP, which is you can earn CCs from 3 different ways. But I know, having done 4ccs retail for many, many years, that it gives you peace of mind. If you've got enough retail customers so that you know that every month they're going to need a certain amount of product, therefore when you place that order on the first of the month, you've got enough product in stock to supply all your customers and it will all be gone by the end of the month, then you know you've got a secure business. The great thing about 4ccs retail is that it's less stressful than worrying about sponsoring somebody right at the end of the month. You know you've done your 4, and therefore you can focus on sponsoring and prospecting without the stress of thinking, oh my God, I need this person to join so that I do my 4ccs. Retailing is much more controllable because once people are enjoying the products, they will be buying them every month. So it's all about a lot of people doing a little bit, and the 4ccs is our little bit to show Forever that we're actively using the products and retailing them. Also, when we can teach somebody to retail 4ccs when they're new in the business, they're going to earn £320 profit on those 4ccs retail. So even if they're doing 4ccs including their own personal use, then obviously there'll be a pro rata slight drop in the profit, but it's still going to give them two or £300 profit. So it's, I don't think duplicable is, I think that's a Canadian word. It's duplicatable if you do it, and then you'll be able to teach it. And that's what everything in Forever is all about. If you can do it, you can teach it. So if you can get to supervisor, you can teach somebody how to get to supervisor. But if you do 4ccs retail, you can teach somebody else how to do it. So we're going to help you to achieve your 4ccs early in the month, and that's why we celebrate people who do it by the 15th, because it's just a really good habit to form. So let's have a look at a volume map, and this is what we call a monthly plan, but it's called a volume map because you're mapping your volume, your CC volume for the month. And we have these in Excel spreadsheets. They're available in files on Bridge to Freedom in all the team pages. There are different versions of them. You can have a very simple version, just with the 2 columns of Pride and Best CCs. Pride is what you would do whatever happens in the month. You will absolutely commit to doing the CCs that come under the Pride column. And Best is if everything goes according to plan or better. And then some of the forms have the income on, and it's quite good to map your income as well, so you can see where you're going to be making money in the month. And I would also suggest that some people are now doing this, that they have a jar, their profit jar, and they keep their profit separate so they can see it mounting up. And maybe you can actually decide what you're going to spend it on. If you've got kids, you can enlist their encouragement to help you retail, and maybe say that this money, this profit is going to pay for us to have a treat, to have a day out, and get them involved. So if not, then it might be something you want to buy your partner. So it might be a surprise, and you need to decide what your goal is and what profit you need to make to get that prize, and obviously that present. So obviously with Christmas coming, it's a great way to save up for Christmas. So on the volume map, we've got our personal use and any gifts. So let's say, who's got birthdays this month coming up with your family, your friends. Obviously, we're going to give them forever gifts. We're not going to give them any, gifts bought from the shops, because that just doesn't serve our business. So think about, what you need this month and who you're going to buy presents for. If you've got repeat customers, what do your customers need? So work out each customer, what they need, and then work out what the CCs are. If you're having launches, what are the dates? They must have a date to go on the volume map, otherwise they don't go on there. So they must be planned and, in the diary. Coffee morning, the same, must have a date. Pup drops, how many pup drops are you going to do? Is it going to be 1 a week, which would be 4 in the month? Or are you going to do 2 a week, which would be 8? Depends how many pup baskets you've got. Or it might be just a little, customer experience pack, just 2 or 3 products in a bag, lent to somebody for 3 or 4 days. Clean 9, are you going to be doing a promotion? And at the moment, we're coming into the little black dress season. Now, I've just seen a friend of mine who is actually a personal trainer put on our local village page, little black dress, and she's actually offering her personal training sessions to help people get into their little black dress. She's inviting them to take a photograph of themselves in the dress now, which obviously might mean it's a bit tight, and then she will work with them to help them get into the dress and take a photo of it fitting. Now, obviously we could do that with C9, so I've copied the words she's used, but obviously we're not going to be talking about doing training sessions, but we could certainly use something similar to encourage our customers privately to do the Clean 9 and the little black dress promotion. Tabletops, they must have dates on, whether you're doing a regular one, and do try and find out if there are regular tabletop events in your area, little local markets where you can make great relationships, build great relationships with people, and get to know them and get regular customers. Foot spas you can do in your own home or at a friend's home. Skincare events the same. And then we've got sponsoring, but tonight we're looking at retailing. But on the volume map you do have your sponsoring, and that's where you put the names of the people who you are going to sponsor this month. And of course it may be that you're going to put 1.085 under best and then 0 under pride. It may be that you think, well, obviously if they join, it's great. If they don't, then it's 0. So we need to make sure we've got enough CCs in case they don't join. But some people are, absolutely definite. But we need to just, always be aware that they may not join on the day they say they will. Then on the income, we've got the profit margins here on the right. So an assistant supervisor, for every 1 CC of retail, they will make approximately, I think it's just under £80, but £80, let's call it £80. They'll also make £39 for every person they sponsor. A supervisor, it's £87 for every 1 CC of retail, that's profit, and £45 for sponsoring somebody. An assistant manager gets £97 profit per 1 CC and £54 every time they sponsor somebody. And then a manager gets a £106 profit for every 1 CC and £64 every time they sponsor somebody. So you can see why we want to help you get to supervisor, assistant manager and manager, because you're going to make more money. So just for doing the same work as well. So that's why we want to help you, so that you can earn more income. So this is what a volume map can look like. Personally, I have to say, I wouldn't want to see such a big gap between the best and the worst, or the pride, where they've changed the word from pride to worst. I think that's too big a gap. I would normally say it should only be about 50% more. Otherwise, I just think that the best there is either unrealistic or the worst is too pessimistic. But you want the worst to always be 4 CCs. That's got to be your absolute minimum to aim for. So here we've got personal use and gifts, repeat customers, launches, coffee mornings, tabletops, pup drops, C9 and sponsoring. So you can see what the CCs are there. You can see the income, and obviously from personal use, the profit is 0 and gifts, but the rest of it all has a profit margin. So I would hope that, I can't believe that 0 is on there for personal use under the worst, because you're always going to use the products. Even if it's a quarter of a CC, you're going to use some products each month. But anyway, that's just to show, a very pessimistic view. But even with that, there's still 5 CCs there. So that's fantastic. It could be for somebody in their first month, maybe, who's bought the box, or just bought it at the end of the month, and maybe that's what this is showing, that they've got enough products to use. So everything is going to be from new retailing, lots of activity, new retail. So the way to do a volume map is it has to be done with agreement of the person who is doing the work. You won't be doing it for someone and thinking, right, well, I've got this new team member. I think they're going to do this next month. I think this is what I'm forecasting they're going to do. If you haven't spoken to them about it, how do you know that? So it is unique to each business owner. And the activity is the result of the business owner's goal. So they need to know what they want to achieve that month, whether it's a base month for supervisor, whether it's just a 4cc month, a 5cc month, going for an incentive. It's got to be whatever their goal is. They will only do the activity if they've bought into that goal and really connected with it. And you can't map them if they're not there. So this is not you trying to, sort of boost your own CCs by thinking, well, I hope they'll do it. It's actually got to start from, the I'm not going to say the lowest member of your team, but the assistant supervisors in your team. Then, theirs go into the supervisors if they've got an upline supervisor, and so on. So we start, with sort of deep in the team and then work up so that we can add them all in. And it's got to be agreed. So all these figures of profit are based on the assistant supervisor position. So if you're not sure about volume mapping, if you haven't done it yet, please do grab your sponsor and say, can you help me volume map October? Because it's a really exciting month, and you'll be surprised at how many CCs you can achieve by planning lots of activity in October. And once you write it down, as we know with the law of attraction, once you write it down, the universe conspires to help you achieve that goal. So now we've looked at a 4cc plan, let's now look at a 10cc plan. So once we've learned how to do 4cc's retail and personal use, we can then focus on sponsoring, and that's getting our 4cc's done early in the month. We can then focus on sponsoring. And this example here shows sponsoring 3 assistant supervisors and helping them to place their second order so that they do 2cc's each. Now, recently, the 2cc rule has changed. Those of you that are new don't need to worry. It will just happen automatically anyway. So in theory now, those 2cc's go into your 4 for each person. But let's just, for the sake of it, saying you're doing 4cc's retail and all the other cc's, purely from helping new people to get started, and they don't go towards your 4cc. So treat it like that. But really, really help people to place their second order. So to sponsor 3 people, let's say that you know that for every 20 people you speak to, every 20 people you contact and say, can I show you my business, not in those words, but I've started a new business, don't know if it's going to be for you or not, but I'd love to sit down over a coffee and just show you what it's all about. Are you free next week? Out of 20 people, you will sponsor, let's say, 1 person. So maybe 10 will say yes to having a look at a one-to-one or a DVD, and out of those, maybe 5 will go to the business presentation, and maybe 1 will join. That's just, that's hypothetical. The actual figures I'm going to go through, the sort of experienced figures I'm going to go through a little bit later. So to sponsor 3 people, all you have to do is have 60 conversations in the month. So if you spoke to 60 people, invited them to have a look at Forever, we know that you would more than likely sponsor 3 people that month. So really, really simple. Just have enough conversations, and enough people will then agree to look at some information, and then from those, enough people will come to the business presentation, and from those you will sponsor 3 people. So it's just about having enough conversations. So here you've done 10 cc's. That's a base month for supervisor, very good base month for supervisor. And then if you can show at least one of those people how to do the same, you're well on your way to assistant manager and manager. So it's all about duplication and keeping it simple. So let's now look at your 7-day plan and your activity tracker. So this is what we call a 7-day plan on the right of the screen here. And it all starts with your who do you know list. So every week, on a Sunday night, usually you'll get your who do you know list out, which is always growing because you're always meeting new people or thinking of people that aren't on your list and adding them so that you can contact them. And we know that we used to say 100 names, sort of 100 names, that was it. If you needed to have 100 names. But now we're saying that what with social media and everything, you can easily create a list of 300 to 1,000 people from all the people you know on Facebook and Instagram, and people that in your sort of real life as well. But if we can find 100 names on your who do you know list, we know that there are 5 people who will join your team. 1 in 20. So that's what that diagram is in the middle. So out of 100, you'll sponsor 5. Out of those 5, maybe 1 will get to supervisor. Most things in life are the 80-20 rule, 1 in 5. And maybe out of those supervisors, 1 will get to manager. So it all starts with 100 names. So from your huge who do you know list, each week on a Sunday night, you're going to sit down and think, right, who am I going to contact this week? And we suggest that you write down at least 25 names. So even if you're contacting 3 a day, 5 days a week, that's 15 people, you need to have 10 spare names just in case you can't get hold of all of these people. So always have a few extra. So on the left, you'll write down the people you're going to contact, take them off your who do you know list, handwrite them. And then if you want to write the phone numbers, you can. And then on the right, you'll write down your other activities. So if you're having a launch, you need to do the invites, get people to come along to your launch, put your pup drops on. You could put names on there if you wanted to, detail, and then blogging about C9. So that's what you're doing this week, let's say. And then at the bottom, training and other events. So we would always go to our business presentation every week. And if you have a local business presentation, which most of us do. And then if it's a success day month, if it's that time of the month, it's going to the success day or team event or even this online training. Online trainings count as well. So, it might be you're going to watch lots of YouTube. You might want to, have a plan to watch lots of inspirational YouTube. But I wouldn't spend all your time doing training, otherwise you won't do any work. But it's just planning it so that you make sure it happens. It's like a to-do list, so you don't forget to do things. So that's your 7-day plan. From that, you're going to then plan the time in your diary or on your time planner, whatever you use, whether it's online or whether it's a paper diary like I use, or even you can just download one of these sheets if you'd rather, and just map out your forever time. So at the bottom of this sheet here, you can see that green is the time to make their calls. Orange is the time they spend with their kids, but it might be that you've got a partner or husband you want to spend time with. And other is maybe, me time or going to the gym or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the thing with this is, seeing it like that, you've got time for everything. So when you're with your kids or your partner, you can be present. You're not going to be thinking, oh my goodness, I should be working. And when you're doing your forever business, you know that you've got time for your family as well. So it takes the pressure off you. You can see it's mapped out. You can see that you've got time for everything, and therefore you'll be much more effective in the time that you're working, and you won't feel guilty. So really, really recommend, if you're feeling a little bit pressurized in time, do have one of these planners, and you can really see it and plan it for yourself that you have got time for everything. So very, very powerful way of showing it. So let's have a look at the metrics. Now, these are the industry standards, the network marketing industry standards. These are the numbers of people who are experienced in prospecting. So it's all about our business building cycle, which is in the middle there with a who do you know list, and then contact and show, then business presentation, and then activity, getting started, planning, and action. So on the left here, we've got, for every 12 people that we make either a call or speak to, I think we are definitely going back to basics now and realizing that messaging, emailing, texting isn't as powerful, it's not as personal. So it's always best to pick up the phone and speak to people. And if you can't speak to them on the phone, then you might want to leave them a message, or you might want to send them a message. But all that message should say is, I'd love to have a chat with you. When's a good time to talk to you? You don't want to leave them a message with a prospecting message. You just want to say, I'd love to have a chat with you. I haven't got your phone number. When's a good time to call you, and what's the best number to call you on? We always want to speak on a two-way conversation. Otherwise, the messages sound too salesy and too premeditated, and if you're reading it, you sound like you're reading it. So it's best to just the call, the message, whatever, should just be, when can we speak? Out of those 12 people, 6 people will say, yeah, I'm happy to have a coffee. You can show me what you're doing, or send me a DVD. So out of 12, it's only 6. So 6 people are going to say, no, I'm not interested, haven't got time, too busy, what is it, objections, all that. It's fine. That's what we get paid anyway, even if they say no at that stage. And then out of those 6 that do have a look at some information, 3 will attend the business presentation. Again, always better to go to a live one. If you can't do a live one, learn how to do it yourself, or ask your upline manager to do it for you online, or live online, or face to face. And out of those 3, 1 will join. So it's 1 in 12 people will join from those 12 prospecting calls. So on the right there, you've got your activity tracker, and it's going to be quite normal to see lots of no's on there. Right from the beginning, when you've spoken to somebody, as long as you've had a meaningful conversation about the business, didn't just sort of bottle out at the last minute and not talk about it, as long as you've said something about the business and invited them to have a look at some information, and they've said no, they go on your tracker. They still count towards one of your 12 or one of your 20, whatever your metrics are. So all of them go on there. If they say no, you write them on and you put a line through it straight away. And then you keep their profile sheet to put into your filing system to contact them again at an agreed time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year. And it can take years for people to join. I'm so glad that the person who contacted me about the business didn't give up, because I took a year to say yes. So always, keep your profile sheets and file them. And I'll talk about filing in a minute. So always be aware that your activity tracker should be full of lots of lines, people saying no, but it also should have people in there looking at the business at one stage or another. So after contacting a prospect, enter them on your pipeline, and then develop your pipeline so that if you really want to build your business quickly and want to get to manager quickly, like in 5 months, then you should really be showing the business to at least 20 people at the moment, on there looking at some stage. So either you've contacted them, they've agreed to a one-to-one, and maybe the one-to-one isn't till, end of the week. So they're on there ready, one-to-one's booked. Maybe they've had the one-to-one and then the business presentation is in a few days' time. So again, the business presentation's on there, the date hasn't come yet, so that's fine. So they are on there, and then they're going to be the no's as well. The no's count as well. So 20 prospects minimum, at some stage of the cycle, but preferably, positive ones. That's if you're part-time, and if you're full-time, then we recommend 40. This is to build your business quickly. So if you want to build momentum, speak to lots of people. So when we're coaching our new business owners, we're going to show our tracker, because we want them to realize it's okay to get no's. It's okay to speak to somebody, and we can even do a call to somebody in front of them, and if they say no, make it really comfortable for them, so that it doesn't matter, it doesn't spoil the friendship, it's just that it's not the right time for them. But they need to see that they are going to get no's, and we get no's. And yesterday Diana reminded us that, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now, she went through a phase of getting 95 no's in a row. 95 people crossed out on her tracker, page after page after page, and then she got 8 people joined within a week. So it was like, the numbers still work, but sometimes they don't come along all in the right order. They don't come along 1 in 12 or 1 in 20. And myself, for those of you that are new, I had, in my first few months in the business, I had 80 no's, 80 people going around the cycle, but getting to the business presentation, some of them did, and they still didn't join. So, and then I had 5 people join within a few days. So that was 1 in 18, my metrics were when I was new. So if it's no, it just means it's not the right time. So you're just going to put them, their profile sheet, to contact them again in your January to December file. So this slide shows how to file your business. Now, this is absolutely personal to you, however your brain works, however you're going to remember things. We used to have something called a 1 to 31 file, which is like a massive diary, really. It's a ring binder with the dividers 1 to 31 for the days of the month, 31-day month. And our profile sheets would go from once we've spoken to the person, into the next date that we're going to contact them. So let's say I've spoken to somebody today, the 25th, and I'm going to see them at the business presentation on Thursday, which is the 28th. I would put their profile sheet into the 28th, and on the every day of the week, I get up and I open my 1 to 31 at the date, and there's the profile sheets that I've got to deal with that day. That doesn't work for everybody, because you've got to be very disciplined about looking at that massive diary every day. So if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. What you will need, though, is a January to December file, or 1 to 12, if you'd rather have 1 to 12, because you do need to be carrying people forward into the next month or 6 months or a year. So that's something I do recommend you have. If you would rather have them A to Z, that's fine, but you do need to write in your diary when you're next going to contact them, in your paper diary or online diary. So develop your own system. If you want, to know what mine is, I'm more than happy to share. I just use the January to December, to be quite honest. And then the current profile sheets I'm working with, I have them in a clear wallet with hole punches, and they just go in sort of the beginning of the month I'm working in, and my trackers are in there too. So it just makes it a lot easier. And then I have an archive file, which I go through every so often. So, whatever works for you, but to make sure you have a system, because you do need to be following up properly. Oh my goodness, that's gone quickly. So there we go. And I thought I was taking ages over it. So now we're going to look at how to blog about C9. Now, C9, you don't need to blog about it if you don't want to. You can just talk to people one at a time. It's absolutely fine. But if you are active on Facebook, there are lots of do's and don'ts about, how to talk about it, what you can and can't say, and how not to put people off. So I'm now going to hand over to the lovely Sarah Funnell, who is going to take us through how to blog about C9. So Sarah, can you unmute yourself?
Yay! Yay! Thank you, Katie. Okay, so I'm going to talk about blogging C9s. Here we go. So how to blog your clean 9 on Facebook. There's lots of things that we need to be careful that we do and don't do with blogging on Facebook. So it's really important to make sure that you follow all these rules and regulations. So next slide, please. Thank you. So it's really important to tell a story. We all know that stories sell, and people like to be nosy on Facebook and see what you're up to and everything. And this is really quite topical for me to do this actually tonight, because I'm starting my own blog myself on the 1st of October. So it's good for me to refresh too. So it's really good to tell everyone that you're starting your 9-day cleanse. And best if you don't mention the clean 9 or C9, so people have to ask you for information. So you can say that you're doing a 9-day cleanse, or you're going to be resetting your insides for the next 9 days, but don't mention that it's actually a C9, because then they'll start to Google it and look it up, and people might start putting negative comments and stuff on Facebook. So you really don't want to put C9 on there. Just say that you're doing the 9-day cleanse. Ask if anyone wants to join you in doing the cleanse, because it's always good to do it in groups of people. I've normally do it with my husband, good old Steve, but I'm not sure that he's up for it this time. So yeah, your partner or someone else is doing it, then ask them to tag you in their posts so you can see the comments and get notifications. So and you may even want to get a little group together as well. You could have a little private group where you can invite other people. I know someone that's done that. Someone in my team's done that. Had a little private group where there was 5 of them that all did the clean 9 together. Okay, next page, please. You could also do, I was just thinking today actually about do video blogging as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be just posts on Facebook, but you could do the little live videos. I've seen those from a few FBOs before, which has been quite good fun, and they're showing how they're cooking their meals and things as well on the way. So here it says a picture speaks louder than words. So you need to make sure that you post throughout the full 9 days to remind people what you're doing, and tell them how you're feeling and your results so far. I'm not so keen about putting my weight up on the screen for the whole world to see, so you may want to keep that a bit more private. But certainly I like to post on there about the inches that I've lost and how I'm feeling. And I know that when I'm doing the clean 9, my sleep is always better. So I like to always post so that I've had a really good night's sleep. So keep it fun as well. Actually, when you're posting, make sure that you're getting people's interest and everything, and keep an eye on who's liking all your posts. You'll probably find that you'll have quite a lot of people that will follow you every single day, and hopefully you'll get people that will be supportive, and they'll write, well done, keep going, you're doing really well, and all that sort of thing. Thank you. So make sure that you reply to everyone who has liked or commented on your posts. There is a document on the RSG Global website. If you're not registered on that, for anyone that's new, then make sure you get yourself registered onto that website. It's got loads and loads of fantastic material on there to use. And you can use the weight management words to respond to the queries about the Clean 9. Make sure that you don't respond to the comments on your Facebook wall, because you could get into lots of debates about things like that. So make sure that you always send private messages to people. And also, as it says there, people will Google things and they might buy it elsewhere, which could mean a loss of customers. If you're doing the Fit 1 or the Fit 2 afterwards, then continue posting your results and how you're getting on. People do sometimes think that these Clean 9 thing, is a bit of a fad thing. You possibly will get that on your wall, but just ignore those messages or even delete them, which is even better. And show pictures a few months later to show how you've maintained your weight loss, and ask people to message for information if they want to know more. But as I said, make sure that you always do message each person privately. Thank you. We've also got the weight management Facebook page as well. So this is the Rolling Snowballs one that's been set up by Diana. We also have a Clean 9 group that Joe and Tim have set up, which I think more the Bridge to Freedom team and Joe and Tim's team use more frequently. There's certainly one that I use the most, which is really interactive. There's lots of fantastic recipes and everything on there, and people can ask questions, and if the person that's added them to the group doesn't respond straight away, then someone else possibly will, because you can't be sitting on Facebook all day long, otherwise you'll never get any activity done. So make sure you use those weight management pages, and also you can add people that are interested in looking at the Clean 9 before they actually do it as well, so they can sort of have a little scroll through and get some information and get a feel for what it's like from all the other posts. So please do make sure that you use these pages, because I think they're actually invaluable. There we go. So if customers don't mind sharing their results, ask if they can post it and tag you in the post, or if you can post and tag them, but make sure that you're staying compliant. There are rules and regulations about being compliant. I think there's a file on Bridge to Freedom somewhere about compliance, and making sure that you don't say things like, this is a great plan, it helps you lose half a stone in 9 days. Because that's definitely not compliant. You may wish to post pictures like this. This will show that there's been a massive weight loss, a massive difference. And you can, again, just I would take the faces out if I was them, because if it was me, I wouldn't want my face plastered all over Facebook. So you may want to crop the pictures slightly. So ask the customers to post their results on your wall, because you can have your privacy settings sorted so that you know where they can be shared, and they can you can tag them, and it can be added to your timeline. So anyone that's doing it with you, everyone can see what's going on. So loads of additional tips here. If a customer has sent you pictures to show the results, ask permission to share it on Facebook first. Don't just assume that because they've sent them to you that you can just crop them and stick it on Facebook pages. Always ask for their permission first. There's another network marketing company that got into a lot of trouble for posting pictures of someone without their permission. So we don't want to fall into that trap. So make sure that we always stick with the rules. Post pictures where possible. Pictures, people love visuals. People love to see that someone's gone from being slightly larger to slightly smaller. or they're much fitter, they're more toned in their body. So pictures are always fantastic. If friends of friends ask for more information, add them as a friend on Facebook and send the information, and ask if you can add them to the weight management group. I've got a little customer page that I have added people to for buying Clean 9. So that, again, that's something that you may or may not have. Screenshot and post feedback received via text and WhatsApp where customers are not on Facebook. But again, crop out personal information. So you have to remember that not everybody is actually on Facebook. So you may have information from text as well that you could pass on. Message or call with info and use the document in the Rolling Snowballs Facebook weight management words to use. That sentence doesn't really make sense. But they're on the Rolling Snowballs weight management page, there's loads of information. I don't...
Sarah, I can't make a message or call with them. Use the document in the RSG Facebook weight management words to use. Yeah, well, it's the words to use. Yeah, it's
yeah.
To use. They're in that.
I wasn't sure if I'd read that wrong. It doesn't quite make sense. Anyway,
there should be a comma in there somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. So think about also the day of time that you're posting your blog as well. Really good times to post on Facebook I believe about 8 o'clock in the morning, because people are just getting up, having their breakfast, checking their Facebook pages. And again, around about tea time is a good one as well. And I think maybe around about 1 o'clock, when everyone's sort of stopping for lunch and things like that, they always sort of scan through Facebook, see what's been going on while they've been working. So think about the time of day that you're posting. And follow up to see how they're doing. You know, take responsibility for your customers, and make sure that you check up with them, make sure they're okay. Are they following the plan? Are they having any problems? Have they got any great ideas that they could share? That's always good to make them feel good and special, that they're contributing towards things on the Facebook pages. Use and follow the tools provided to blog, so they're there for a reason. So, you know, use them. And make sure that you're compliant and always follow the rules, because following the rules will equal results. So when you're doing the Clean 9, you know, follow it properly, and you'll get fantastic results. So how to support your customers on the Clean 9. This is really, really important that you message them every single day. I probably didn't do this when I first started, but I absolutely make sure that I do now. I set up reminders on my phone to make sure that I text or contact that person every single day. So it even starts beforehand. So the week before, let them know that if they need any help planning with their food, shopping, or have they read through the brochure, do they need any more information, and remind them to reduce the amount of caffeine that they have during the week, because obviously that will prevent them from getting that detox headache. Oh, and don't say the word detox either, because that's really bad. So the day before, message them some sort of little fun message about enjoying their last supper, and let them know that you're around if they have any questions tomorrow. And then I normally message my customers in the morning, to say, here goes, you know, good luck, let me know how you're getting on at the end of today. And then I would, if I haven't heard from them, I'd message them again in the evening to ask them how they're getting on, and just build up, you know, you have that rapport with them already, so just keep messaging them, make it fun. Ask them day 2, they're almost done with the hardest bit, so keep going, and weigh in tomorrow will motivate you. Most people will lose weight in the first few days, because of their bodies clearing out everything that it shouldn't have in there. So that's always really motivating for them to jump on the scales and see that they've lost, you know, a few pounds. That will keep them motivated for the rest. Day 3, of course, is their first day where they get to eat their dinner. So that's really exciting. I normally sort of send a message in the mornings and saying, whoop, whoop, today you get to eat, which is really exciting. What are you having for dinner? And I get them to send me a picture of what they're having to eat for dinner, and ask them if it's okay if I can, you know, share that on the Facebook page, or get them to share it on the Facebook page. And I think that's really, really important, actually, because you can get some really good ideas of meals for yourself and to share with other people that might be doing the Clean 9 too. Days 4 and 5, just send in, I wrote a little note actually about friendly questions. So how are you feeling? How's it going? Has anyone noticed any difference in you yet? Did you have any questions at this point? I think that by day 4 or 5 you sort of know what you're doing and you're quite into the zone with taking your supplements and ticking all the boxes in the little book. So I just try to keep it upbeat and friendly, and again, check on what they're having to eat and are they having any snacks, and do they have any questions. So day 6, so celebrate with them. Has anyone noticed, have they had any difference to themselves? Are they sleeping better? Do they feel that their skin looks fresher? Ask them those, people will have noticed. They must have. Everyone says that by day 6 you have that Clean 9 glow about you, where you're sort of really smiley, eyes look fresh, your skin looks all plump and everything from all the water that you're drinking and everything. So, make a fuss of them. And say, it says, if you know these people, message them and say thanks for supporting. So that would be the people that have noticed that you look fantastic. If they've posted on Facebook or something and they say, oh wow, you're looking amazing, then send a message to them, if you're friends with them, and say thank you for supporting so and so doing the Clean 9. She's doing really, really well, etc., etc. So day 7, again, how are you feeling? Highlight the products which are helping them feel good. So if they feel like they've got loads and loads of energy, you could say that would be down to the drinking gel and the firm tablets, and make sure that you know your products so that you can talk to them about it, and maybe suggest that this is these are the products that would help you, following on from the Clean 9. Day 8, don't forget the extra meal tomorrow. So that's always a good reminder. Some people forget that on day 9, actually, you get to eat a 300-calorie lunch rather than having your milkshake. So send them a little reminder. And it says there, I've tagged you in a post if you're wondering what to do next. So you can always tag them in things within the Facebook page for ideas for 300-calorie meals they can have for lunch. And then day 9, celebrate. Yay, they've done it. They've done their 9 days. They'll be feeling amazing. They'll have lost weight. They'll be sleeping better. Their hair will feel better. So, send them a celebratory message and get them to obviously post on Facebook about their results. Ask them if people have commented on anything, like there's someone in the business said that their husband had stopped snoring from doing the Clean 9, so that's got to be a bonus every time. It would be great if you could add them and anyone else to the group, to the Clean 9 groups, and most are happy to do this if you've supported them well, and they can then pass on lots of information as well. Right, so this is quite key. When you get to the end of the Clean 9s with your customers, obviously speak to them about other products going forward that they might like to take, but also ask for referrals, and because they may know people that may know people that may know people that would love to do something like this, that would help them with any issues that they may have, some digestion issues or having trouble sleeping, or people that have not got no energy. So always ask for referrals, and you could offer them a little freebie. Everyone loves a freebie, so you could say, if you refer 2 new customers who go on to place an order, you can have a free product and you can choose from a selection that I will show you. So that's totally up to you what you would decide to show them, but I would suggest something like the moisturising lotion or a tooth gel or something that they could use, that they would then come back to you to buy more of. So how much will you earn from these wonderful Clean 9s? I think from the screen here, I think it's quite self-explanatory, but you can see that for 3 Clean 9s, it would give you 1.3 case credits, and as an assistant supervisor, it starts at £114 profit. and going up to managers would be 156. So that's quite a substantial profit that you could get just from selling 3 clean nines. And this time of the year is an amazing time to get clean nines sold, as Katie said earlier about the little black dress. Get ready for that. But also getting people ready and sowing the seeds for people that might want to start doing it after Christmas, because you might start sowing seeds now. They may order in November or December, ready to start in January. So but look how much profit you could get from selling 8 clean nines. 8 clean nines would give you 3.5 case credits. That's nearly your 4 done already just by doing that. And you could be making between £304 and £416 profit. So that would be lovely to have that in your bonus pay just before Christmas, so that you could have a lovely Christmas with that. £416, that would certainly help buy some Christmas presents. And 8 clean nines, that's really so doable. I'm sure in my second month in the business, it was December, and I sold about 5 clean nines in that December. So I would have been a supervisor, so I'd have made £200 just before Christmas. So that was a nice little Brucey bonus. Bless him, rest in peace, that man, lovely. And also it's really important to be organised with your customers, especially your clean nine customers, because it's quite a high-end product. And all our customers need looking after, but our clean nine customers especially, I think, because they normally go on to carry on doing the FIT program, or drinking gels at least, and some supplements. So always have your customer record sheets out, make notes about when you've messaged them and any issues that they may have, little notes about how they're feeling afterwards, and whether it's helped with their issues. And then just have a 1 to 31 system here, so you can follow up with these people. Because, if someone's having on a clean nine, you could perhaps put that in every single day. Someone who's having a shampoo and conditioner or something, for example, you may wish to put in there every, once a month or something, check up. But I've got all my customer records that I get out quite regularly and message them, as well as having them on my Facebook VIP page. So make sure that you keep yourself organised. That's the key, I think, to everything. It's just being organised.
And you're very organised, Sarah, I know.
Well, I do try. So the last little page here, for me, I think, is about, or shall I pass over to you now, Katie, for this, the Jim Rohn quote?
No, you go for it, yeah.
Okay, so if you make a sale, you make a living. If you make an investment of time and good service in a customer, you make a fortune. And that is just so true. If you could make a sale and then not bother following up with anybody, and they're never going to come back to you again. But if you give them a fantastic service and you spend time finding out about them and how you can help them the best, then they'll keep coming back time after time. So I think that's an amazing little quote. And it should be, I think you should print that up and stick it on your wall in your offices or something. So
that's
just
right.
a reminder.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find the quote if you just Google it, and in a nice image. But yeah, it's true. I mean, customer service is so important, and knowing their birthdays, knowing about their family, and just make them feel really special, and unexpected little gifts and things. So we can keep our customers for a lifetime if we look after them. And so many customers that we find have been abandoned by their business owner, the previous person, and they don't know where to get the products from. So we really need to look after them. So thank you, Sarah. That was absolutely fantastic, and good luck next week with your blogging and
thank you.
Comment and things, and like your posts and everything. So
thanks.
That's fantastic. So just to clarify, we've got the Snowballs weight management page, which is like 10,000 members, and you're very welcome to add people to that. There's loads of stuff on there, but I just feel they might get a bit lost in there. And then, as Sarah said, Joe and Tim started their own Clean Nine group quite a while ago now when they first started, and it's brilliant. But we've also got the Fit, Healthy and Energized, which Alexandra does most of the posts on there, but that's available to the whole Bridge to Freedom team. But Joe and Tim are more than happy for people to be added to theirs. So, you know, we can add you to both. It's up to you. So if anybody wants to have a look at Joe and Tim's, they're not already on there, just private message me or whatever, and I'll add you. And then what else have we got? Now we've got a Bridge to Freedom team VIP group. Now I know lots of people have got their own VIP customer groups, that's fine. But if you haven't got one and you've got new people starting, it's best to add them to a group that's already set up. And obviously we'll make sure that whoever's customers are on there, you know, they go to the right person. There's no poaching customers or anything. So, but it's got loads of information on there. And again, Alexandra is posting on there quite regularly with really professional posts. And then I'm doing the odd did you know and top tips and things as I think of them. So we've got loads of Facebook support groups. Just ask your sponsor which one is the suitable one for, you know, each customer. What else did I going to say? Yeah, compliance. We do have a set of Forever Head Office UK have made 3 compliance videos. I'm sure they are on Bridge to Freedom. They're a YouTube video, but if not, they're on Forever Knowledge, and I will find them. I need to probably post them again, actually, because we've got quite a lot of new people that may not have watched them. It is our responsibility to be aware of compliance, and the weight management side is quite a grey area. As Sarah and I were having a little conversation before the webinar about, are we actually allowed to show weight loss on scales, or are we allowed to take photos? I'm sure we are allowed to take photos because a picture can't lie, but there's certainly rules about not saying I've lost 9 pounds in 9 days, or this can help you. We used to say it, but not allowed to anymore, that the clean 9 can help you lose 5 to 12 pounds in 9 days. You cannot say that. So it's very, you have to be careful. Certainly this is all about social media. You know, what we say in private is not so strict, but we just need to be aware of it. Okay, and there were a couple of slides that need changing, which I'll point out to Diana. It's not Fit 1 and Fit 2, now it's F15, but I'll make sure Diana changes the slides. So I'm just going to do homework quickly, and then we'll go on to the dates for your diary. So homework is to prepare your volume map for next month by booking in some retailing activity in advance. And if you haven't done a volume map before, don't do it on your own. Make sure you get some help. So make sure you speak to your sponsor and they will help you do your volume map. Do your weekly plan every week, and especially for the coming week, and send it to your upline so they can help support you with your prospecting and your, whatever other activity you've got planned. And then fill in your weekly planner or put it in your diary so that when you know when each activity is going to be done. And if you haven't done already, order a C9. You can't recommend it unless you've done it yourself. And it is a really amazing experience, C9. I did it last week, and Carol Brooker, who's brand new, did it with her husband, and they've had incredible results. But you just forget how good it makes you feel. I do it once or twice a year, and oh my goodness, you just feel so different. It's great for breaking bad habits, which is why the wine's gone now on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we were lapsing into drinking every evening during the summer, sitting outside in the garden. So we decided that's no good. We've got to stop that. So C9 helps you break the bad habits. And also, very importantly, go on the weight management and nutrition training. That's what we did last week again. It was on in London, wherever it's on, Milton Keynes, Fulham, or Warwick head office. Make sure you go. Which brings me on to dates for your diary. So I'm just going to come out of this, escape, stop that, and come out of that and come to this slide, which I'll just make slightly bigger. There we go. So these are upcoming trainings. I will post this slide on Bridge to Freedom, but I just want to talk through them. So is next week October? No, week after next. Week on Wednesday. Yeah, week on Wednesday. We have another online business presentation. This is a webinar. It's not live on Facebook. We decided those are too stressful. So all our future live online presentations as such will be on webinar, which means that people we don't have to be interactive with people. We can just literally follow them up afterwards. So 4th of October, that's the RSG online business presentation. We do need some volunteers who would like to do a testimonial or present part of the presentation. That's usually a manager or assistant manager. There's the beginning, then there's the products, and then there's the incomes. But I would imagine Diana or Lucy or Tina Rigg will probably do the incomes.
Kate,
Yes.
we can't see the slides.
Oh, can't you? Okay.
No.
It says I'm sharing. I'm letting you know, but I can't tell why because it says stop sharing.
Oh, right.
Oh, hang on, let me just
We
try.
just got the homework.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be the homework. Hang on.
All right.
Hang
Okay.
hang on, I'll stop sharing and I'll try something
Bear
else.
with.
Hang on, let me bear with. Hang on. Hang on. It's right, I've got to go to the here we go. PowerPoint. Share. I'm still getting to grips with Zoom. Right, hang on. Let's go to that one. Can you see it now? Upcoming trainings. Somebody unmute.
Yeah, we can.
Lovely. That's it. Oh, I have to go to a different screen each time. Anyway, that's fine. So, right. So that's the business presentation next week, a week after next, a week on Wednesday. Right, 7th of October. A couple of us, I think 3 of us at the moment, are going up to Warwick for the new skincare training by Dawn Parker. Now, if you don't know who Dawn Parker is, first of all, she's Bob Parker, the managing director's ex-wife, but she's been in forever for 20 odd years. She was the first advisory board member. She is amazing. She's beautiful. She's lovely. She's funny. Her trainings are fantastic, and she's going to talk about Infinite as well as the other skincare. But it's a really important one. If you're using the skincare and want to promote it, do go work. There's a few of them on, but just happens that we're going to this one. So if you do want to join us, if you can come in the week, it's a weekday, join us up there for the skincare training. 15th of October, right, for assistant supervisors wanting to get to supervisor, the top networker training, QLS top networker training, or TNT, is what you need to be on. That is a Saturday. So that's for people, as I say, wanting to get to supervisor. It's hosted by Jane Leach in conjunction with Diana Page, Andy Waring, and Chris Goldsborough. And my goodness, that is the A-team. You will absolutely love that training with those 4 people presenting. So if you want any more details, it's on QLS. I think we're going to be sharing details on, it'll probably be on QLS Connect, but we'll also share details on Snowballs and Bridge to Freedom and all the team pages. 18th of October, these are the trainings I'm going to. So I'm going to be going to the supplement training. Haven't done that for a little while. There'll be lots of news about, the move and the different supplements, so absolutely important to go on that. I believe Alexandra and Michaela went on it at the weekend. Michaela, did you go on it, or was it just Alexandra?
Just Alexandra and Pamela, I think.
Hannah, okay, great. So I spoke to Alexandra today and she said it was fantastic. So, no matter how long you're in the business, you still learn things at these trainings. I still do. And especially if you're new, do make it a priority to go to all of the advisory board trainings. I'm going on the Animal for Aloe one tomorrow in Fulham. I didn't put that down because it's slightly short notice, but I'm refreshing my knowledge. That's how I can answer questions, because I go on the trainings. But you shouldn't rely on me to do it. You should get your own, knowledge and trainings, and go to meet David Urch, because the training's just fantastic. 5th of November is the next Super Sunday, which is what we did yesterday. So it's like a mega BP, but it's so either side of the business presentation, you've got Adam May and Diana Page talking about the theory of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, about why we need to have, or sort of why the 40-year plan is broken, why a job is not the answer, why pensions, are not going to be enough. Loads of statistics, absolutely brilliant pre-business presentation training. Then we had a little break and we had the business presentation with live testimonials at each level of the marketing plan, and Sarah did her assistant manager testimonial. It was absolutely brilliant. And then we had Lucy Rodmell talking about all the incentives and showing what there's checks she'd been given. So it's really bringing it to life. And then the best bit, I think, was Sarah Montgomery doing the products. Oh my goodness. I mean, she had a bottle of Holland and Barrett aloe vera juice, and she showed the difference. It actually looked like wee. It was yellow. It was horrible. So, I mean, then she showed ours and drank a big glass of it, showed an aloe leaf and cut it open. Absolutely brilliant. So Super Sunday, 5th of November, if you can get to Fulham, it was a brilliant, brilliant afternoon. It's 1 o'clock till about 4:30, and the last half hour is for your prospects to register to get their box. They can pick up their box actually at the product centre. 12th of November, another top TNT, top networker training, and 13th of November is the supervisor to manager training. So that's for anybody that isn't yet a manager and is at least a supervisor. So that's in Warwick. And then we've got our Christmas party, which is going to be great fun. I've just put my tickets today up at High Wycombe at the Holiday Inn, the RSG Rolling Snowballs Group Christmas party. 35 quid for a 3-course dinner, a disco, obviously not wine, but we can get some deals on wine, and we'll probably treat some people, whoever come with us, we'll treat you to some wine. It's going to be fabulous. So do join us. It's going to be great fun. And then 2nd of December, Success Day, Christmas Success Day. So that's up until the end of the year. And what I haven't put on the slide is the QLS Kickstart training in January. Tickets for that are coming out this week. So I will be cascading them down through our managers, and we'll make sure that you know about when they're available. Okay. And then just a reminder of the current incentive on the Rolling Snowballs Group. We need to be using these incentives to grow our business. It's not about going for a curry, although having a curry at Diana's house is very special. I have been for curry with the managers. Curry and quiz night, it'll be fun. Diana's husband Jeff is great fun. He's a lovely guy. He'll probably do the quiz, and she's just so warm and welcoming and funny, and just so nice to be in her home, being able to talk to her and seeing how normal she is, even though she's super successful, and just a lovely home. So how do you achieve that? Well, first thing you need to be aware of is you must make sure you're 4cc active in September. So you've got another few days to get to your 4cc's, and then you've got to be 9cc's over 2 months, so September and October, and achieve 2 new assistant supervisors. So recruit 2 new assistant supervisors. So, if you've sponsored one already in September, that's great. If you haven't, don't worry, you've still got time. But one thing you must make sure to stay in the game is that you do your 4cc's in September. So I hope to see you there. That's going to be brilliant. We don't know the date. It's sometime in November. You don't need to know the date. You just need to qualify. And even if you can't go, it's still worth qualifying. So that is the point. So thank you, Sarah, for helping me. Let me just come out of this and put my camera back on. Where's it gone? There it is. There we go. Hang on. Stop. Yeah, that's it. Hey, I can't see anybody. I can only see Michaela. Hang on, gallery view. I always forget that. There we go. I can see lots of lovely faces. Hello, Sian, you're there, and Shirley. So yeah, lovely to see you all. And next week it's going to be Alexandra hosting. So if you're in her team, be prepared for the phone call asking you to help her present, because that's what we do. And then I'll be finishing off on week 6, and then we'll start again in probably November to take us through to December and the end of the year, and then we'll start one in January. So these 6-week programs are for us to refresh our memory of what the basics are, and for our new team members to learn from. So lovely to see you all, and have a great week, have a fantastic week, and see you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye.